Welcome back, everyone. Thanks a lot for coming back. Thanks again, as always, to all the subscribers. I appreciate every new subscriber. I enjoy all the comments. And to that point, DD Blink 02 found a discrepancy with my last video, and he pointed it out. I really should probably do some more research before I do my videos, so he doesn't have to keep correcting me. But anyway, in the last video I commented that one of the photos that I showed on Railroad Picture Archives of the SD39s was possibly when they were going to be scrapped. He pointed out that they actually weren't scrapped, only one of them was scrapped, possibly not even one that was in that video, or a picture rather. But in fact, most of them, if not all, except for the one, were reworked heavily and modified to be broad gauge engines and sent down to Chile. So in fact, they may still be working away down there. I didn't know their status of how if they're still operating down there. So maybe DD Blink can fill us in on that. I didn't get a chance to look that part up. But so again, appreciate the comments, and hope you can learn from them as well. So well, as expected, excuse me. As expected, the race season is upon me, and things have started to slow down in the basement a little bit. The last few nights I've spent working on my bike. Our weather here hasn't been ideal. It's been raining and cold, and anytime you take your bike out in the rain, you really want to make sure that you clean it, re-lubricate everything. So I didn't think anybody wanted to see me put on my new set of pedals for my bike. But for those of you interested, got a new set of speed plays, but not railroad related at all. I have had some time to work on projects, and so I thought I'd show you what I have been working on. Nothing in the how-to realm. I haven't had a chance to record anything. However, I did want to start with one thing, and I'm going to hopefully have some footage of this. Is the project that got deleted along with my rail fanning footage from Rochelle. And that was basically a diorama that I wanted to work on. So what I did was I had started, this is just two 1-inch pieces of pink extruded styrofoam, and I measured it out. I took a 85-foot covered or auto rack, and then my longest diesel, which is the FP45. Those two combined fit onto here with a little room to spare. But I thought what I'd do is I'd just go ahead and contour this, put a piece of track, ballast it, put some scenery on the side, and then I'm going to take some scrap masonite that I have. I have a lot of, I don't know why, but I'm left over with pieces that are like 2 inches or less, and I don't really have a use for them. So I thought, well, between all the scrap material that I have, I'll go ahead and paint those masonite pieces, glue them onto the side here, and just turn this into a display. Like I said, in the last video, or my roster video, I have some engines that I don't really run that much because they're, you know, the old Proto 2000s, the GP30s, they don't run real well. And then I have some chassis system units that I just can't part with, that are just sitting in boxes. So I thought, yeah, let's get them out. Maybe eventually I'll get a plexiglass cover for this. You know, if I can find a way to put the plexiglass together. So that's what I'm working on here. Probably show some of the steps. It's basic scenery techniques, so nothing real innovative or new there. Maybe some static grass and ballasting and things like that. So nothing real exciting. But flip over to the other projects that I've been working on, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here is the fleet of new tank cars that I got. There are several of them are lettered for clay and clay slurry, and that's fits the Wisconsin Central layout because they served a lot of paper industries up in the Appleton area and throughout Wisconsin. And clay slurry is a product used for finishing paper. I'm not 100% positive, but I do believe that it gives it its coatings. The shine and stuff like that comes from the clay that's mixed in. And the other two are, I'd have to look up these cars. They might have also been clay slurry, just not particularly labeled for them for a particular company. So these required a little bit of, like I said last video, a little bit of loving care. They have some damage. As you can see, this guy is missing the ladder, so I have some ladder stock. I'm going to go ahead and rebend, and actually I might just leave it shiny and just kind of insinuate that the ladder was broken off. Here's the other one. He's missing a ladder, so I got to fix that up. And the rest of them, they just had the these railings and stuff up top here broken, so I just re-glued them on, and then these are quite old cars actually. Like I said, they were white box Walthers, so it kind of gives you an idea of their era. So the cars actually had started to almost yellow, probably from being in fluorescent lighting, or the lighting that the original owner had them. So I went ahead and weathered them with the light coat of white to give them a wash, and then came back with some earth colored dust and stuff like that. So got to get the trucks a little bit more weathered and finish them up. But this guy, unfortunately, I think is beyond repair. As you can see, he's missing the entire piece in here. This might end up on a flat car as maybe, say, damaged in a wreck or something like that. Have it, it can break off some of the other pieces up top here and remove the couplers and stuff and trucks, and just say that he was damaged and now he's being transported somewhere else. So that's one of the projects I was working on. So one of the other things that I've been wanting to show, but have been a little bit reluctant because I've had mixed results with them, is these two. I got these from Michaels, and they're called Sophisticated Finishes. And actually, when I went in to buy them, they happened to be on clearance. So I don't know if they're discontinued. I don't know if you'll have any luck getting them, or if they've come out under a different name. I haven't been back to find out. But basically, what it is this is an iron metallic surfacer. So really, it's I don't want to say it's paint because I don't know what the base material is, the substrate, if you will. But there's iron, I believe, mixed in. If you look somewhere in here, it does say something about there having iron in here. Yeah, obviously, iron metallic surfacer, but there's actual iron in here, not just paint or anything like that. And so what you do is you shake this up, get the iron mixed up, and then you can apply it to whatever surface you want to rust. And so, for instance, I went ahead and painted this truck. Make sure it's in the frame here. See if we can get it. But I went ahead and painted the truck in that rust color, or and it comes out in a gray. You can kind of see it. The whole truck was painted with the iron metallic surfacer, and it ends up being a real matte gray color. And I also did some on this gondola here. This one, see if it shows up, but you can see this one's still a little bit gray. It hasn't really rusted yet. But I just put some streaks in there, and then I also did these wheel sets. I don't know if they'll show up or not. But so once the prime coat dries, you come back with this rust antiquing solution, and you can kind of see it here. It's some of the material has dried on the outside of the container, and it's I'm not a chemical engineer, and I wasn't real good at chemistry, but I believe that all it is doing is oxidizing the metallic finish and creating rust. So I think it's probably a catalyst for kicking off the rusting process, and the end result can be a wheel that has a nice orange hue to it, and in some regards it's essentially real rust. see if we can get that in here, if it'll focus. But I like it because it gives it a real, on wheel sets, it gives it a real uneven finish, which I think is really realistic on the wheel sets. Here's another one, and no two end up really the same because it's a chemical process. Depending on how the chemical reacts, each surface ends up a different shade, you know, and a different consistency, if you will. This isn't focusing real well. I wish I could get it to focus on the wheel set. But like I said, you know, if you look at two side by side, they really kind of have a different different hue to them. Now the one downside, and the reason why I haven't really promoted it is I've had limited success with it. You know, here for instance, I just kind of threw some on this car, and this took several applications of the rusting, the rust antiquing solution, which is okay. You know, and I'm obviously not real good with creating real thin lines and everything. But for instance, like on this side, I've applied it multiple times and have had limited. It's just not rusting it at all. So I almost have to come back, probably reapply the base iron coat and see how that turns out. Maybe there's not enough iron. Maybe I didn't stir it enough. I'm not sure. So I don't know that it's the product as it is the user. In my case, me. That's just using it improperly. So worth a try. Like I said, I picked these up for $6.99 from Michaels. So Sophisticated Finishes. And I will say that in Tom Mann's weathering book that I showed a few weeks ago, he actually talked about these as well. So I don't know if he still uses them. And but you know, it's a different way to weather. You get real weather, or real rust rather, and so it's worth checking out, especially for the price. See if you have any luck with them. Okay, so the next project that I've been working on is getting, as I said in one of my previous videos, this will be the Quad Graphics plant, and if you look up and you look for pictures of the Quad Graphics plant, this doesn't necessarily look like the Quad Graphics plant of any kind, and obviously it's based off of, this is the power plant from Walthers, and hence the smokestack. That may or may not end up in the final model or scenery, because they don't have, none of the quad plants have a big smokestack like that. But I went ahead and painted up these panels here, applied them to each of the buildings. So now next step will be to come back and start putting the scenery around the building itself. Get this out of the way a little here. Got some loading docks on this side that I'll need to make, you know, probably an asphalt or concrete pad for. And there's the cars or box cars dropped off. And then probably have this is where I plan to have my tank cars drop off, the clay slurry and stuff like that. Now, that would be more of a paper plant, not necessarily what Quad may have received. I'll have to investigate what they may receive, if they received anything in tank cars. And then these wood chip hoppers would be more for a paper industry, so these are just here for the moment because my son wanted them dropped off here. So, and we'll probably put some more concrete in this area, and then there's also loading docks on this side, so we'll go ahead and put a concrete pad in there as well. So that's that project, getting worked on slowly but surely. Well, everyone, sorry for having a shorter video, and once again more of an update this week than a you know, real how-to or anything like that. You know, maybe the Sophisticated Finishes gives you an idea. Go seek that out at, like I said, I got that at Michael's. It was on clearance when I bought it. Worth checking out. My results have been limited, but like I said when I was showing the product, that could be user. The product could be just fine. So feel free to check that one out. When I started the video and to this point, I actually got a few new products, and I thought I'd show those. One of the things I got was based on the latest issue of Model Railroader. Cody Gribno has an article in there about restoring some scenery and redoing some stuff. And one of the products he talks about is Highball Products Real Dirt. And it's kind of funny because you've got dirt everywhere, you know, around the house, in the garden, wherever. And here I go and buy a bag of dirt. Anyway. It reminds me of a story. I always laugh when I go and buy manure for the garden or for the yard or for the flower beds or whatever. I'm like, I always just joke that I'm buying crap. I'm literally using money to buy crap. It just seems wrong. But anyway, so I bought dirt. We'll see how this works. I got some areas that I'd like to try it in. You don't get a lot. This was like $9 for this bag, and so I'm going to have to use it somewhat sparingly. But I think if nothing else, what I'm going to do is just use it as reference for maybe screening my own dirt. Again, once we stop having our 40-year flood here in Wisconsin, it's been raining like gangbusters lately. So that's one of the things I got. I also got DCC decoder. I got a Kato SD40 Wisconsin Central. So I got to put the decoder in that. So maybe I'll do a quick video of that. I know there's a ton of videos on decoder installations, so I don't know that we need another one, but maybe this particular model will give somebody a tip. And I like to solder mine in, so I'll show you how I do that. And then I also picked up these support trusses for guy wires and piping, and this will go with my new grain elevator for the drying bins over to the main tower. So it's kind of nice. They're brass, so it'll definitely take some priming and everything. And I'm interested to see how this kit goes. But so we'll see how that works. And then just a sanding stick, and then Zuron. This is one of their. This one's meant for sprue cutting, which it's got a real thin, fine cutting surface on it, so it's supposed to be good for removing parts from plastic sprues. So I don't know if you can see it in the background, but my bike is on the rack, getting ready for another race today. On that topic, it's not railroad related. However, I've talked about it enough, and in the show notes I'll have a link to my other channel where I upload video from the camera, the one that I used for the first person view of the layout. Well, now I'm actually using that as the intended purpose, and I've been shooting some of the races that I've done. So if you feel like checking it out, seeing what Criterium Racing is all about, like I said, it's not model railroad related or train related, but you know, it's I find it interesting, and maybe you will as well. So link in the show notes to my other channel for that. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for sticking with me, especially through this somewhat dry period as I have other hobbies are cutting into my model railroading. And thanks to everyone that has watched, and I'll see you next video.